Let's start with the Jason Reitman thing because it's lighting the internet on fire. He was on, and correct me if I'm wrong, he was on the Bill Burr podcast. He was talking to Bill Burr, and he said something along the lines that he wanted to make a Ghostbusters that brings it back to the fans. And the internet went shithouse.
Which is not surprising.
No.
Because the internet likes
Not
doing
surprising that they went
a lot.
shithouse. So a lot of people had gone after him and said it was very misogynistic that he said this. And
Why, though? Why that word?
Well, because the way that they took it. Here's the problem. And this is there. I don't know Jason Reitman, so this is why it could look like that, because the movie itself, the Ghostbusters remake with the four ladies, got destroyed before it even had a chance. I did not like the movie, but I did not destroy it before it came out because I wanted to see what it was. I didn't like the way it was executed.
Right.
I still think it would have benefited if they kept it inside of the actual Ghostbusters universe and they would have had 2 men, 2 women. I think they would have been great. I just didn't like the direction that Paul Feig went. But I wasn't destroying it because it was 4 women. That was dumb, and that was happening all over the place. Just because you put 4 women in there, people were pissed. So, and it was a thing, and the director had to fight for it. You know, the women were on edge before the thing. They never even had a chance, and reviewers were getting smashed for it before they even reviewed it. When they reviewed it, before the embargo was lifted, all this shit, they were getting smashed for it. So, by him saying that, it opens up wounds again, right? And it makes people go, well, wait a minute, you know the fight we were fighting. Whose side are you on here? And you're going to basically say, okay, fanboys, you were right to do that. That's the way that they look at it. Now, you can look at it on another situation, and maybe what he was saying was, did he ever necessarily call out men or women and then just said overall Ghostbusters fans that he was going to basically what I wanted to do as far as the lore and what he was going to say with the lore, that he was going to go, okay, I'm going to do a movie that what he should have done was worded a lot better because he worded it terribly.
But if you read the full quote, doesn't he actually said by using the original technique? So I thought when I actually heard it, and when I even read the article, I thought he was referring to the way the movie was shot, like the original movie,
right? But you can see,
like in a technical filmmaking
it's
way.
Still vague,
I can,
it's still vague.
And no, and he apologized for it. He already apologized, obviously, because you have to. But I mean. I think he realizes he messed up in the way that he said it. I don't think he meant it in that way at all.
I don't either.
Because I think people like him and because I love Ghostbusters so much. And I went to see the movie regardless of it has nothing to do with gender to me. I thought it was fine. Right. I didn't hate it. I don't need to ever see it again.
Right.
You know, I didn't think it was that good.
It was what it was.
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with it being women or men.
Right.
This is going to be something that people at home either crap on me for or not. But let me also say that we're all really tired.
Yes.
And talking all day. And he's one of them. He's talking all day. He's doing press all of the time. He's working all of the time. You say stuff that comes out wrong.
Right.
Even though you're this has happened to me, as you guys know, multiple times in the last few weeks, even the other day before we started a show. You just say something, and the second it comes out, you're like, I didn't even just mean what I said, and now I'm getting lit up for it. And so you have to, if somebody apologizes, if they didn't say something ridiculously homophobic or racist or something that shows their true heart, if they misspoke and they didn't describe
or have
their
a
feelings,
track record
but if they misspoke and didn't describe themselves accurately, I'm so on their team because I'm like, I get it, I do that ish all the time, and it's brutal.
And the internet sucks nowadays
they're
because
looking
it's all mob mentality. It's like, what is this thing that people are just looking at a trending topic on Twitter, and all they want to do is be like, oh, I'm going to tweet about this person that everyone's hating on, so I'll get retweets, and you're just shaming people for no reason. And like Roxy's saying, we're all exhausted about saying the wrong thing all the time.
Yeah, my thing is
it's so dumb.
My personal opinion of it is that I think that he worded it terribly.
Yeah.
I think that what he should have said was, and he should have referenced the other one, and he should have started with, I really like what Paul Feig and ladies took a shot here and did something very different with the material. I grew up with it. My dad directed the first one, so Ghostbusters was very true to me. What I'd love to do was do something a little bit more towards if you were fans of the original movie. If you like the original, that's where I'm kind of going with this one. I'm going more of the lore of that one. So I'm kind of going towards that fan base as far as what we did and continuing the story. And there's going to be men in this one. There's going to be women in this one. But he didn't didn't. He was just saying it like a fan, like this.
Yeah.
It's for the fans, but he wasn't saying, "Oh, that last one, man, did they get it wrong?" But I understand why people were offended. I really do.
I
because
get it
just,
too.
But they got overly offended.
I agree with that too.
That's crazy.
I just think I don't think that he was coming from a place of misogyny. I think that's hard to throw somebody under the bus right away with.
And by the way, like you said, if it happens 10 more times, then okay.
Correct.
Then get pissed about it. But it's a human being who's speaking so much. And just sometimes you get tired and you say something because it's easier to shorten it. And instead of saying what you just said, the roundabout way of getting to it's for the fans is saying, I respect what they did. I love that was their choice. This is going to be more reminiscent of the originals because my dad... When you just don't have enough words and you shorten it and people get offended of it.
Well, that's the problem with social media right now. The thing, again, because back in the day, what would have happened in a comment like that would be someone would call up, like a news reporter would call up and go, "Can you clarify your comments?" That's what would happen. And then he'd go, "Well, what I meant was this." Going through it. But like you said.
Now it's like immediate opinions. Everyone's yelling.
You wake up and thousands of people are screaming at you.
And more than half of those people yelling don't actually listen to the podcast, don't read the article. They just read a headline. It's like, oh, all of these people are pissed off at this. I am a sheep as well, and I'm not going to think for myself and just yell what everybody else is yelling.
This is the only comment they read. This is the only one and have no context. I'm going to hand the movie back to the fans. That's it.
Because that's the headline.
That's the headline.
That's what's
That's the thing.
on Twitter,
Not this huge paragraph. This is a love letter. I grew up watching it. I was a Ghostbusters fan. I was 7-year-old when the movie came out, and I love it. And I want to make a movie for my fellow Ghostbusters fans.
Right. Well, that's still that comment is
my
still,
fellow Ghostbusters fans.
Yeah, but
you think so?
Yeah, but what he said there, though, that I can see why people get offended by that comment, because what he said was, "I'm going to make a movie for my fellow Ghostbusters fans." Basically, what he's saying, because Paul Feig, you can see where people say that Paul Feig and the girls didn't, so I'm going to. Which is not what he meant, but you can see where people would get pissed by it. He just should have went deeper into it, because he knew how much controversy was around this stuff and how much shit those poor people got before they even did it. Right. He should have addressed it right off the bat, because you're opening yourself up.
Yeah. He could have been more sensitive about his words, but like Roxy's saying, it's hard. Our brains are weird fucking things, dude. Like
the way things come out sometimes.
Stuff that comes out of my mouth all the time. I'm like, I don't know how that happened.
Right.
And then,
I don't control my brain all the time. It's hard.
I'm sure he was getting all this backlash, and he's sitting there thinking,
That's not what I meant.
That's not what I meant.
Right.
Like he's not sitting there thinking like that serves them right.
The movie
Double
sucked.
down.
The movie sucked. I couldn't. You know what? I mean it. I'm not going to let those broads take over me. That's like take your movie away.
He could also be talking. He could also be just talking about how Ghostbusters 2 isn't a real Ghostbusters movie. You never know.
You never know. But he never said that it wasn't a real movie. He never said that. What he just said, he said that's the way that they insinuate. That's how people insinuate.
See, I just said something wrong.
But that's how people took it. So it's just a tricky situation with him. I'm glad that he apologized. I think that apology was actually, I think it was justified. I really do. I think that he just misspoke. I don't think that he's a bad dude. I don't think he was coming from a place of anything except this. He grew up with this. His dad directed the movie. He's been around it. This is very personal to him, this movie. I just think he should have worded it a lot better.
Did you see that Paul Feig also came to his defense?
Good.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Tweeted, right?
He tweeted something, and I'm looking for the actual quote right now.
Because Jason probably called Paul Feig and said, "Look, dude, I said the wrong thing. I really did. Like, this is what I meant." And Paul Feig's the type of guy that would be like, what did Paul Feig
he said, "Jason was a supporter of mine at the time when I couldn't get movies made. He has always been a true gentleman to me and a supporter of Ghostbusters. Answer the call. I can't wait to see his take on Ghostbusters universe. Big love and respect to you, Jason. Your fan, Paul."
Yeah. See, I mean, and that's
in response to Jason's actual tweet apology.
Yep.
Right. And which can you read Jason's apology?
Whoa, that came out wrong. I have nothing but admiration for Paul and Leslie and Kate and Melissa and Kristen and bravery with which they made Ghostbusters 2016. They expanded the universe and made an amazing movie.
That came out wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying something.
Had he started with that, this is not a problem.
Although, I will say though, I have beef with anybody who apologizes and doesn't use the word "I'm sorry." That's not my favorite kind of apology, I will say. And now I know I'm being nitpicky, but I think the word "sorry" goes a long way.
I think this is a different circumstance, though. I think what he's doing there, because he never insulted Paul Feig and the women. I think what he's doing there is to say, to let you know, these comments are not about.
That came out wrong.
I'm not specifically talking about
apologizing to. He's not apologizing to people going after him, and he shouldn't. Right. Like, he shouldn't, because he's talking basically to Paul Feig and the ladies.
I'm not even specifically talking about this one, but if we're going to call this an apology, I'm just saying anybody who is apologizing for anything should say the word "sorry."